Today we're in Miami, Florida to take you on board this Westport 130 named Plan A. With over $5 million invested in the past few years, she's in turnkey condition and ready for her new owners. Welcome on board. We'll begin the tour at the stern, where you'll find a big swim platform where you can step right off the boat into the sea. And curved staircases to both sides allow for a gradual transition into the aft deck. We have a beautiful alfresco dining area that provides awesome views of your surroundings. Close by to the port side is a full-service bar with a teak tabletop and TV overhead. She has full walk-around side decks, including varnished teak cap rails that run the length. That's a rare feature. Let's continue into the main salon. Her interior is warm and cozy with soft, comforting fabrics and relaxing neutral tones. The aft section here is meant for welcoming your guests or just hanging out with the family while watching your favorite movie. As we continue, you'll notice the expansive windows so you never feel disconnected to your environment. Further ahead, we walk into the formal dining area. Ideal for those elegant evenings where you and your guests can have a more formal feeling. The table is surrounded by storage for everything you see displayed. Here to starboard, we can access the lower staterooms, but we're going to remain in this foyer. From here, we can access the side decks, or move up to the Skylounge and pilot house, but instead we're going to stay here on the main deck and turn the corner here into the galley. Fitted with everything imaginable for any gourmet meal. 2 Gaggenau ovens, Sub-Zero cold storage, Viking 6-burner stovetop, and Miele dishwasher. Part of the recent refit was adding this stew pantry area to provide more space for prep. The galley does have another access to the dining room from the port side of the boat, allowing for quick and quiet service. Let's continue along the starboard side, passing a dayhead before entering the master. As we enter, you'll see this closet here to our left was actually extended as part of that refit to allow for more personal items. All the woodwork you see in here was refinished in 2014, along with the main salon and dining room. Beautiful details throughout this boat. All the storage you'll need is here, along with a large flat screen. And your his and hers ensuite is further forward. A couple neat aspects in here. Skylights and storage cabinets were installed forward, features you wouldn't normally find on the 130. Your walk-in shower is centerline, and as we move around, we'll find ourselves heading back the way we came. We'll continue in this direction, going back through the main foyer and toward the accommodation staircase. Notice the warm wood paneling here. On most 130s, this would just be wallpaper. Let's continue down. We're now moving aft to the starboard side from the bottom of the stairs into our first guest stateroom. This one has a king-size bed, TV with AV system is hidden behind the cabinetry, and the ensuite is just aft. Coming out of the starboard aft stateroom and moving to port, we have a mirrored version of what we just saw. Each guest stateroom has new AV systems, new carpet, new LED lighting, and a few other upgrades. Moving from the aft staterooms heading forward, we first walk into the guest foyer where you can find a full-size washer-dryer. Now moving into the port forward stateroom. Something else you'll recognize in these staterooms is just simply the amount of room you have. Now going from the port side to the starboard side, we have our final guest stateroom with side-by-side berths. Now what's interesting about this stateroom, the port side bed is hinged and can be lifted out of the way, allowing this to double as a laundry room when the guests are elsewhere throughout the day. Similar to the port stateroom, the ensuite is also aft. We're going to move back up to the main foyer and continue up another deck now. Let's move forward first into the pilot house. The bridge is one of the most important places on the boat for the captain, because this is where he or she spends a majority of their time. Full suite of Furuno electronics, Nobletech chart plotters, Westport monitoring system, and a host of other nav gear that makes her a dream to captain. As you'd expect, Just behind the two helm seats is a large U-shaped settee and a desk area for the captain. Let's come out of the pilot house and head aft into the Skylounge. Now, for a lot of people, this is one of the most preferred locations on Plan A. Partly because of the views and the privacy you get from here, but also because it's just a very cozy place. To starboard is a few armchairs with a wet bar tucked in the aft corner. And the port side has a perfect spot to kick back and watch the waves go by. Here in the corner is an office area for guests. Huge windows in this space, and there's also a day head here in the Skylounge. As we move astern, we enter the bridge deck aft. To the port side here is another dining area. From this elevated position, you have some pretty incredible views. And there's also a TV that flips down from overhead for this space. To the starboard side, we have a jacuzzi that doubles as a sun pad, as you see it configured here. The aft section houses the tender storage. We have the main tender centerline with jet skis to either side, and the Nautical Ventures davit can be found to port. From the bridge deck aft, we'll move up a level to the sun deck. In the aft section, we have a huge sun pad, and if you want some shade, there are sails for this area and the bridge deck aft. There's a full-service bar here in the center, with the upper helm station located further forward. And on either side, there are flanking settees with cocktail tables. There's one more exterior space to explore, and that's up on the bow. There's a circular seating area with a beautiful compass rose inlaid into the table. We're going to move from the bow back to the stern, where we have our primary access to the engine room. As we enter, there's another laundry area, the engineer's cabin, as well as additional cold storage. Before continuing forward into the engine space itself, she's powered by MTU 16V 4000s. In 2016, they underwent a QL3 half-life rebuild at a cost of $330,000, so you can imagine they're in top-notch condition. The engine room also received two brand new 80 kilowatt Northern Lights generators. There's also a space for the engineer just forward for them to monitor everything that's going on in here. That concludes our walkthrough on board Plan A, our Westport 130 located in Miami, Florida. For more detailed information, please contact JD Ducanes.